Hello and welcome everyone! What's the biggest problem with invisible cows? It's that they're heard and not seen, of course. I hope that joke was adequately amusing for you. Today we're making cottage pie. A lot of people mistakenly call their cottage pie shepherd's pie. The important thing to remember is that shepherd's pie is made with lamb or mutton, whereas cottage pie is made with beef. This recipe for cottage pie is pretty simple and straightforward, so I hope you will enjoy it as much as we do. For today's recipe, you will need roughly 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 large onion finely chopped, 3 carrots finely chopped, 3 sticks of celery finely chopped, 3 cups of beef stock, 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, several sprigs of thyme, a sprig of rosemary, optionally 1 cup of red wine, and salt and pepper to taste. In addition to those listed ingredients, you can also add 1 to 2 finely minced cloves of garlic to the recipe as well. Now garlic doesn't agree with me, which clearly means I'm a vampire, so I will be leaving it out. For the mashed potato topping, you will also need several large potatoes, roughly 3 pounds peeled and chopped into chunks, 3 cups of grated old or extra old cheddar cheese, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter. Super secret tip, if you use ground lamb or mutton instead of beef, you'll have an equally tasty shepherd's pie. In a large sauté pan or pot, use 1 tablespoon of the oil to fry up the meat until it is browned. I recommend working in batches for this so that you don't overcrowd the pan. Once the meat has been browned, set it aside. When all of the meat is browned and has been set aside, add the remaining oil and finely chopped onions to the pan. Cook on medium or medium-low heat until the onions are translucent and start to brown. Once the onions are ready, add in the carrots and celery, cover the pan and cook everything until soft. About 20 minutes. Make sure to stir it occasionally, of course, so that nothing burns. When the veggies are cooked, add in the tomato paste and stir it in. Once the tomato paste is stirred in, add in the flour. If you're using the optional garlic, put it in now. Increase the heat to medium-high and cook everything for about 3 minutes, stirring constantly. If using the optional wine, add it now and allow it to mostly boil off so that everything becomes very thick. When the wine has reduced, add in the beef stock, Worcestershire sauce, thyme sprigs, and rosemary, then add the meat back into the pan. Bring everything to a simmer and cook for 30 minutes uncovered. Stir occasionally to prevent anything from sticking to the bottom of the pan. If after 30 minutes a lot of liquid still remains, increase the temperature and continue cooking until the gravy has thickened up. Discard the thyme and rosemary sprigs, then season well with salt and pepper. Meanwhile, prepare the mash. In a large pot or pan, cover the potatoes with cold salted water and bring them to a boil. Then simmer them until they are tender. Once tender, drain the potatoes and return them to a gentle heat on the stove. Then allow them to steam dry for about 30 seconds. Mash them well and add in the butter, milk, and 3/4 of the cheddar cheese. Continue to mash them until they are smooth and all of the cheese has been evenly mixed in. Pour the meat into an oven-proof dish. Depending on the size of your dish, you may need more than one. Then spoon the mash on top to cover and smooth it out with a spatula. If you let the meat cool a bit before topping with the potatoes, the layers will stay more independent of each other. Once covered with potatoes, drag the tines of a fork across the surface to create a bunch of jagged valleys and peaks. This gives us more surface area for tasty browning. Then sprinkle over the last of the cheese. Place the cottage pie in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit and cook for 25 to 30 minutes, or until the top has browned to your liking. Once removed from the oven, let it cool for 5 to 10 minutes before serving. Here we have the finished cottage pie. The meat and gravy wonderfully complement the potato mash on top. Be warned, however, the potatoes are a great insulator, and the inside meat will stay mouth-burningly hot for far longer than you might expect. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Don't forget, if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, be sure to leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.